My name's Alex Kais, artist and realtor. This is a home in Seattle, and this is my home. As a realtor, I talk to a lot of people thinking about buying a home, and they just don't even know where to start. And let's face it, there's a lot of questions to ask. Like, how will I pay off my mortgage? What should I look for in a home? And how the heck do you negotiate? And while this may be all new to you, it's not as complicated as it seems, as long as you have the right kind of help. So I wanted to go over a simple list of 10 steps to follow when buying a house. So I'm out previewing houses for clients today, and I thought I'd bring you along as we talk about this whole thing. Before you get started, it's important to understand the costs associated with buying a house. And there are a few. Everyone's situation will be a little bit different, but here are some good estimates. You're always going to have lender fees that your mortgage company will charge you for opening up a loan, usually quoted at a certain percentage of the loan. Budget about 0.5% of your purchase price. A home inspection can cost anywhere between $250 and $600 depending on the size of the home. And you're going to need to put down earnest money when you write an offer. This acts as a security deposit on your contract. It isn't anything extra, and it goes towards all the other costs when you close on the house. But it ensures the seller, because if you back out of your purchase contract without just cause, you lose your earnest money. You can expect to pay somewhere between 0.5% and 1% of the purchase price for closing costs. And since real estate broker commissions are usually covered by the seller, you can afford a high-quality, experienced broker like me. But really, your mortgage pays the real estate fees because you pay the seller and they pay the realtors, so it's all just semantics. Next, you're going to have to save up for a down payment, which is at a minimum 3% of your purchase price. If you save up any down payment that's under 20%, you can still buy a house, but you carry what's called private mortgage insurance, a monthly insurance cost that covers the lender if you default on the loan. This amount varies, but you can expect about 0.5 percentage point of the loan spread out over the course of the year. Now that you know all of the costs, let's run a minimum cost to purchase example on a $500,000 house. We're going to put down a 3% down payment of $500,000, which is $15,000. We're going to estimate about 0.5% in lender fees, which comes out to $2,500. Home inspection is going to cost $400. Closing costs work out to about $2,500. And in total, you're going to need, at minimum, $20,400 in your bank to buy a $500,000 house. And after plugging that into a mortgage calculator, that comes out to about $2,900 a month at 4% interest for 30 years. And that's inclusive of taxes, insurance, and PMI. Before you seriously step foot in an open house or call a real estate agent, know your options. Apply for a loan and fill out all of the paperwork. It's totally free with no obligations, and it's going to give you a range that lets you know how much you can afford and makes your financing situation very attractive to a home seller. But if you're in a seller's market like the one in Seattle, then getting pre-approved isn't always enough. You need to find a lender who underwrites all of their clients and has experience winning multiple offer situations. Next, come up with your priorities. I like to talk to my clients about focusing on price, condition, or location, because you're probably not going to get your ideal situation in all three. If getting an affordable home is the most important thing to you, you might have to increase your commute and move to the suburbs. Or think about some creative strategies, like a live-in flip, buying as tenants in common with friends or family, house hacking, or something else that works for you. My wife and I bought a house about a year ago for what's called a live-in flip. Right now, it's a major construction zone because we first added an apartment downstairs and we're now renovating upstairs, all while living there. This gave us the option to buy an affordable project house and sell it later for profit, which we can then use to move into our dream neighborhood. But if you want the walkable lifestyle close to the hustle and bustle, you're gonna pay for it. It's all a compromise, but as long as you know that the perfect house probably doesn't exist without putting a little bit of work into it, you're gonna be all right. When you think of house hunting, you probably go straight to Redfin or Zillow and start searching online. But these companies get all of their data from something called the Multiple Listing Service, usually referred to as the MLS. Redfin and Zillow are easy to use and great for checking while procrastinating at work, but they're not always up to date or even accurate. Instead, you need to work with a real estate broker who can get you access straight from the source and set up a portal into the MLS. I have some paperwork to drop off at the office, so I thought I'd show you around. Come along. There are so many things to cover about submitting an offer that I won't go into too much here. Washington state requirements make the standard paperwork at least 45 pages, and it could easily be more. Basically, it boils down to how much you want to pay for the house and how many contingencies or outs do you have if you change your mind or something catastrophic happens. Hello? No, we'll pay $4.99 and not a penny more. Once an offer has been submitted, real estate agents confer with their clients and start the process of negotiation. There are a lot of strategies that people use depending on how much risk they want to take. You can offer a low price knowing that you'll have to come up a little, or you can offer concessions other than price, like a quick closing or no contingencies. It's a give and take process. Once you and the seller agree on all the terms of the offer, we call it mutual acceptance. At this point, you're on a legally binding contract, and if you back out without using a contingency, you have to forfeit your earnest money. When things get really busy in the housing market, homes sell in just a few days, and people often waive inspections. This is because an inspection contingency is one of those outs that we talked about, and it's a big one. You can use this 5 to 10 day period to back out of the purchase for pretty much any reason. You don't like the commute, you smell something funny in the basement, or the deck is about to collapse. Inspections are important for making an informed decision though, and you can get away with it. I would either have an experienced eye with you during house hunting, or getting a pre-inspection done before submitting an offer. One of the most nerve-wracking steps is having an appraiser go through the house, making sure it's actually worth what you want to pay for it. And this is one of the biggest hurdles in a hot market because people start bidding up the price of the house using escalation clauses and getting emotionally attached. Then their mortgage provider won't give them enough money to cover the purchase. When this happens, you have to either renegotiate the purchase price or come up with the extra cash to cover the difference. The title and escrow company takes over at this point, recording all paperwork with the courthouse, transfers ownership to you, and moves money around from your mortgage company to the seller and any other lien holders. In Seattle, during the busy house buying season, I always try and write offers with a 2-week closing to be more competitive. This means from the point of mutual to the day of moving in, you have 2 weeks to get everything done. And finally you move in. On the day of closing, paperwork usually goes through in the afternoon, but you don't technically get possession of your keys until 9 p.m. And then the house is yours. And that's 10 steps to buying a house. Now, once you start looking at houses, you're probably going to notice that no house is in perfect mint condition. So don't forget to have a little bit of money and a little bit of time set aside to fix the inevitable leaky faucet and broken screen door. This will undoubtedly require hours of how-to videos on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe below and stay tuned for more house buying tips and neighborhood tours from a home in Seattle. And if you're interested in buying a house, send me a message and we'll chat about how to get started. Bye.